from. Good.
Perpetuity. You're done.
That is a word.
That is a word. That's a real word. Not like firstly. I'm just kidding. Kate, I love when Kate says firstly. She says it so well. And I always giggle because it doesn't sound like a word. But it is. We Googled it.
Yeah. If you say it with enough conviction.
So fun.
Adjust.
Maybe you should have gone for that door.
Hey, Mal.
Okay.
All right, good morning and welcome to BIA Live. We are here at our office, 32 East Jordan Street behind the tape, and we're here with Coffey from Butter and Blooms.
Hey.
Hey, Caitlin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. We had a fantastic cake from Caitlin earlier this week. Was it earlier this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was chocolate and chocolate buttercream, and oh, it was fantastic. So we're super excited to have her here because we've got a fun little more cake idea coming up later. Well, Caitlin, tell us a bit about what do you do? What is Butter and Blooms?
Butter and Blooms is kind of my little baking baby. So I started Butter and Blooms 3 years ago, and it started as kind of a pop-up and workshops and events and classes. And over the past couple of years, we haven't been doing as many in-person things, so it's turned into a lot of special orders and events and that sort of thing. But I do primarily pies and cakes and baked goods and that sort of thing. But it's just out of my kitchen at my house, and it's just me doing everything from baking to decorating to boxing it up and bringing it to you. So it's kind of a one-woman show.
That's awesome. Well, I know we've had a cake. I think last summer we got a confetti cake or a tie-dye cake or something to that effect. And it was awesome. And it was beautiful. I almost didn't want to cut into it for my daughter, but we did. And then we ate it, and it was awesome. But you're also dropping some stuff off on a weekly basis somewhere here in town?
I am. So Cup and Saucer Mercantile have been wonderful, and they've given me a little opportunity to come and do what we're calling the Cake of the Week. So every week, usually Monday or Tuesday, it depends on how my schedule has progressed, I drop off a cake there, and it's a rotating flavor, it's seasonal, or kind of what I'm experimenting with in the kitchen, and that has been awesome. People have been really supportive, and the women over at Cup and Saucer have just been awesome about giving me a little bit of space in their mercantile.
Oh, that's awesome. I've yet to get over there, but I see your posts on Instagram, and they're just beautiful. It's like, oh man, that is a day's worth of food for me, but I would love to have 2 helpings of that each day.
They do big slices over at Cup and Saucer. They're not messing around.
So it's a one-woman show in your kitchen, all yourself. How did that come to be? How did you figure out how to do it all?
You know, a lot of trial and error.
Okay.
I always enjoyed baking growing up. You know, my father was the type of guy where if you're having dinner at his house, there is food for 20 people, even if there's only 5 people at the table. So food has always kind of been like a love language for me. So getting to be able to be a part of people's celebrations, whether it's, yay, your baby slept through the night, or you're celebrating your 50th anniversary, whatever it is, has always felt really, really special to me. And a lot of it has just been, I've done some workshops, but it's a lot, I'm self-taught. So I very much classify myself as a home baker, but that's kind of how it has evolved.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, what are your plans for this upcoming year now that things are starting to open back up and you're in Cup and Saucer? What's next for you?
So I had a couple of things coming up. One of the big things I did want to talk about is with Oscar Blues. So Oscar Blues, I'm going to look at my notes so I make sure I have it all right. They're doing a women's tap takeover. So their team of female brewers are putting together 3 new beers, and they're doing a market on March 26th, starting at 2 p.m. So they're having a bunch of local women businesses come in and do a little market, and they're also doing these new beers that are paired with local businesses. Okay. So one of them is one that I actually get to be a little bit of a part of. I just touched this microphone. And it's going to be a cranberry and orange flavored beer that's based off of a pie that I make, usually on the holidays. So super excited about that. Really so that's exciting. March 26th at Oscar Blues. You'll get a chance to support tons of local businesses and come out and try these new beers.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is awesome. It is like an International Women's month thing that they're playing off of?
Yes.
Right?
So last year they did one
Okay.
that went really, really well. So this is kind of an expansion on that.
That's awesome. Well, that's exciting. March 26th. Hey, Mau, think about that. March 26th. We'll head there. But so that's exciting. But we do have some special guests today.
Yes.
And we get a little bit of a lesson here from Caitlin today of Butter and Blooms. We've got one of our agents here, Brad, going against Mallory, a student here in town who has been avid baker lately, and so she's come here to see who can decorate the cake the best. So let's maybe shift over there and teach us some things, Caitlin, and see what we can do.
All right. Stick this on here.
All right, kiddo.
All right. I'll scoot right in the middle so then I can see everybody's cake.
Great.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you mentioned that you were self-taught, Caitlin, because I am as well.
yeah.
So I think this is going to be a great competition.
It
Are you ready,
looks-
Mallory?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
would like to say that Brad does get extra points for baking and frosting his own cake.
Boom.
So that's pretty impressive
I'm
in and of
already ahead of
itself.
you, hot shot. I'm already ahead of you.
All right, so we're going to do kind of a simple piping that you could add to any cake. It's kind of freestyle. So the nice thing is you get a couple of main elements and you can just fill in the rest however you like. And it's going to look great regardless of what you put on there. So the first thing we'll do is I'm going to show you how to pipe a little simple rose on the top of the cake. So yeah, come in close. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that one of my favorite styles is kind of this crescent floral buttercream. So we'll kind of do a play on that. So to start your rose, you're going to pipe straight up and down, kind of anchor it in place. Then you're going to lift, keep squeezing, swirl it around, and then you release, stop squeezing, and just pull it around. So that's your rose. Do you want to see it one more time? Or you guys feel confident?
I mean, Mallory might want to see it again.
We'll do it one more time. All right. We'll squeeze up and down the middle just to anchor it there. Keeping squeezing, pull it around. And when it's as big as you want it to be, stop squeezing. We'll pull right off.
Do you have the design planned before you start?
I usually have the main focal points planned in my head, and the rest is just kind of filling in the blank spots. So I'll decorate this little section here, and then I'll let Mallory kind of finish it out for me. But we have a few different piping tips. So this one's a ribbon. And this is a really nice one to just fill in some space. You just squeeze, and I like to do a little squiggle. And it looks fancy, but really all you did was squiggle it in there. And then you could take this yellow that has a little star tip, and you can fill in just up and down, dot, release, lift. And then if you want to make it look even more floral, you can take your leaf piping tip. And one of the things I learned is if you're doing a leaf, you want it to look like the alligator mouth. So up and down versus sideways. You up and down. Again, you're going to squeeze just to anchor it. And then release and pull.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a couple of leaves.
Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Emily wants to know if we can subtract a couple points for your hat.
Wow, I thought that would give me some points. Emily. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. If you notice, the hat and the apron are matching.
There's
So this is a little bit of a coordinated, like synchronized decorating. If
So
you
it
will.
was made for an 8-year-old girl.
Thank you, Katie.
Just
Yes,
checking.
it was made
Just checking.
for
I just wanted to check.
a young girl's hat today, but this is a very progressive office.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, kiddo, you wanna make a rose or do some decorations over there?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see
Yeah.
what you got.
Pick your color.
We'll start with this one.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna add on.
There you go. Perfect. Do a little squeeze and lift. Nice.
Wow, I might be in trouble. That looks pretty good.
Hey, Mallory, my birthday's in like a week.
I know, Mom.
Let's see if I can make a flower here. It ends up looking like a NASCAR racing stripe. Is that okay as well?
Yes.
Okay.
This is freestyle cake
All right, good.
decorating. Again, you just choose a couple elements. That's your focus point,
Mhm.
and then just fill in with the rest.
Not exactly. It looks exactly like
Oh,
yours.
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, that looks great.
Mallory, you have a fan. Kim Bliley
Oh.
said she's so proud of you.
Wow.
She said, "You go, Mallory."
Yours is
You
looking good.
go,
I'm gonna try
Mallory.
another one.
So you could cover the whole top with flowers. You could do a little wreath all around the edges. You could do a little crescent. You could do a couple of those.
Just a little swirly pinwheel. Those are pinwheels, and those are my favorite flowers. So that's
Yes.
what we're doing. That's what we're doing there.
There you go. And lift and swirl. Nice.
That looks 3,000% better than my cake already.
Good
All right.
job.
Wow, thank you, Katie, for agreeing with that.
It's like a really fast agreement too. She didn't even
Yeah,
stop
no,
to
that
think.
No, you sure you want to think about that response?
I've been
There
thinking
you
about
go.
it.
Yeah, okay.
And lift and swirl. Good.
Oh my
Awesome,
goodness,
Mallory.
beautiful.
Ah, that's pretty close. That's pretty close right there.
Oh, that's a really
Yeah,
good
very
leaf.
Very close.
Here's this design here.
And of course, if you're decorating for somebody in particular, you could use their favorite colors, different holidays.
Blue, Mel.
I think she wants you to take some notes for her birthday. What do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Can you tell us a little about your
So
masterpiece?
this is an emoji cake.
Really?
So you have the two eyes here, right? And
Yeah.
then there's going to be a nose. And so, I don't know. I think it's going to look good. I'll make a little
Yep.
nose here.
The other thing is sprinkles are great because they cover up anything you may not want to feature in your cake.
Oh, really? So I feel like you're telling me I need lots of sprinkles,
I'm
Caitlin.
just saying it's an option that you could always add to your cake.
I got a little blowout on the side here of my icing. Interesting.
What's been your favorite cake to make, Caitlin?
That's such a hard one. One of my favorites is definitely the butterbeer cake, which is Harry Potter themed for any Harry Potter fans. And because it was one of the first ones that the flavor combinations that I came up with on my own. So it's a vanilla cake and it's got homemade butterscotch in it. And we pipe a whole bunch of fun vanilla bubbles on top with sprinkles, and it's always a fun one to make.
Caitlin, does your daughter like to bake?
She does.
Oh,
She decorated her own. Well, she doesn't get to do it in the kitchen when I'm doing my stuff, which is difficult for her at times. But she decorated her own bluey cake for her birthday last year, which was adorable. And if you squint, you can tell that it's a bluey cake.
I'm sure if you squint and look at this one, it'll be lots of
Look
great
at that. You
things.
got the leaves down, girl. And a couple of things about your buttercream. When you're piping, you just want to make sure the buttercream is nice and smooth. If it's really hard, it's going to be hard to squeeze. If it's too loose, it's just going to kind of melt all over your cake. So finding a good consistency where it's smooth, it's not super bubbly. And when you're mixing your colors, if you do it even like the night before and let it sit, your colors are going to become even more saturated. So those are just some little tips that you could use when you're decorating cake at home.
Let it sit on the counter?
Yeah.
What's the best way to store buttercream cake?
I would typically say once you have it at home, you could go ahead and just leave it at room temperature. So I always suggest eating cake at room temperature because the buttercream is going to be soft and creamy versus, when you put butter in the refrigerator, it gets hard and not so nice to eat.
Sure.
So if you want to, if you've got leftover cake, we don't have a ton of that at my house, but if that happens, you could put some like saran wrap right against the cut edge to keep it moist, and you could either leave it at the counter or you could put it in the fridge and then let it come right back up to room temperature when you're ready to eat your leftovers.
Nice.
Look
Wow.
at, she's even going on the sides. Very impressive.
Yeah, I think I inspired her a little bit with what was going on over
Really?
here. Yeah, really. Really. I mean, Mallory, just taking a quick look, mine looks a lot better than yours, you think?
No.
So I made
Thanks,
I made a
kiddo.
joke on my Instagram saying that I was gonna get my Mary Berry on for any fans of the Great British Bake Off, and one of the things she'll say is it looks very informal about cakes. So that's what I think of. If a cake is a little messy, I always think it's just informal.
It just looks a little informal. Okay. All right. Sure.
Not very, very. She's so wise.
She is.
All right. Looks good.
Uh-oh.
Miss
Is
Mel.
it? You going You going with little dots on the side too? All right. All right.
She's bringing her A game here.
You got it.
Yeah.
This looks great. Are you ready
It's
for?
it's impressive.
Ready
Why are
for-
you
Yeah.
stopping decorating?
Yeah.
Well, because once you reach a maximum masterpiece, if you add to it, then it kind of takes away.
Yeah, you don't want to.
So I think that looks.
Emily said that your cake is Blue Jean Friday informal.
Wow.
It does sound like that'd be a good song.
That looks great, Miss Mel.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
Yours is a full garden.
Oh yeah. Okay. Brad,
Yeah.
would you like
Mine
to-
is more of like the mulch in the garden. Is that what you're? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think, and look at how nice your piping is on the side.
Okay, so that's.
I usually don't do a lot of side piping because it's.
Oh, really?
It's.
So this is more of an advanced technique that you're
This is like-
surprised that I could.
It is.
These aren't
Pull off.
Walmart blue jeans. These are Levi blue jeans.
These are very fancy designer blue jeans, Emily.
Yes, there we go.
That you could wear any day of the week, for that matter.
All
So,
right.
well, this has been fun. I think. Is there?
Do you want to do community corner while Mallory finishes?
Yeah,
up?
let's
And
do
then
that,
maybe we
and
can-
then Caitlin can award me with the cake decorating contest. Well, look, there's a packed weekend full of fun stuff to do here in Brevard and the local areas. And one thing that's going on this Saturday night is a fundraiser for TYSA, or Transylvania Youth Soccer Association, and that's going to be happening at Oscar Blues. And so come out. If you didn't know, Charlotte FC, which is a new MLS team right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, is their first home game is Saturday night, and Oscar Blues is going to live stream the first match from Bank of America Stadium. So Oscar Blues has graciously partnered up with TYSA to do that. So there's going to be some silent auctions items, tickets to Mountain Song, rounds of golf at Lake Toxaway. And there's a few other items to do that. There's going to be some basket raffles, a local gift basket, and then a soccer-themed gift basket with swag from Charlotte FC that they sent over to us. So Caitlin Murray, our executive director, and Mary Jo Gordon, that is our assistant director, has done a great job putting this together. There's also going to be a big inflatable kind of soccer dart game. That's going to be fun for all ages. I'm looking forward to doing that when I'm out there. So come out and join us on Saturday night at Oscar Blues. There's going to be some live music starting around 4 or 5, I think, and then the game's going to start streaming at 7. So come out and join us. We're going to have a good time. We appreciate your coming out and enjoying that. There's also lots of other live music going on. 185 King Street, DFR, and then Oscar Blues has live music all weekend. And also, Oscar Blues, want to let you know, every Thursday at Oscar Blues is Thursday night trivia. So don't forget about that on Thursday nights. And you want to see at the DFR room, you can catch out Sarah Siskin and Modern Appalachian with Two Bird Stone. All right. Let's see. And it looks like the weather's going to be good. You guys have plans for the weekends?
No, baking. I'll look at it through my window, though.
Okay.
Look at it.
All right. Well, hope you guys get outside. It's going to be beautiful. If you're up in the Mills River area, there's live music up there all weekend as well. And there's a paint and sip series going on at Mills River Brewing. That looks like a lot of fun. And tonight is the Dr. Seuss cocktail release at Bold Rock. So if that's something that you're looking forward to, get out there, get your Dr. Seuss cocktail, and steal the pint. Steal the pint night at Bold Rock. And then, of course, check their Facebook, their website, all those details. And let us know if you have any events. Katie and Brevard Insurance, we're gracious enough to let us mention the TICE event. If you have a community event going on, we'll be happy to mention it on our live show that gets thousands and thousands of views every week. So we want to thank Caitlin again for coming out here for Butter and Blooms. If you need a cake for a celebration, a family dinner, something that's going on, check her out, give her a call. The one that she brought in here the other day for the birthday was amazing, and everyone has really been enjoying that a lot. So make sure and hit up Caitlin for your cake and sweet needs, because there's pies and other things. What's the whole? Is there any sweet that's off limits?
A macaron is probably something I'm not gonna do anytime soon. But cakes, pies, cookies, brownies.
Okay.
Yeah, all that is good.
with a little fancy flair, probably.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, please do. We have lots of new videos on YouTube about content, about insurance, things that are going to help you with your insurance, both personal and commercial. So give us a follow and give us some feedback on those. Let us know that they're helping you with your insurance stuff. And I think we're ready for our awards presentation. So thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate this. I'll go ahead and put the winning cake out front.
Yes. So, like I said, Brad gets points for height, for making his own cake.
That's the first time I've ever gotten points for
But since I came here with decorations on my mind, I have to give the Star Baker to Mallory for her full-on garden on top of the cake.
Yay.
Well done.
Good job, Mallory.
Right.
Thanks for being part of our live show.
Mallory, you got another fan. Janine Bolin says, Mal's a pro. She's ready to get hired for baking and decorating.
All right. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Caitlin, for being
thanks for
here.
having me.
Appreciate it. And thanks, Mallory, for coming and showing me up. We really appreciate that for sure. All right, guys. See you next week. Have a great weekend.